Welcome to another episode of the Bellied Up Podcast. Charlie is here with me at the Cormorant Pub in Cormorant, Minnesota. We are feeling good. Charlie, I actually have a funny story about the Cormorant Pub. Not so much about the Cormorant Pub, but it involves the Cormorant Pub.
What happened?
So my parents got a cabin not too far from here.
Congratulations to them.
Yep. Had it since 2004.
Oh, I'm a little late to the party.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Pretty cool, though.
But we have like a back lot, and we redid the back one winter.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, this is the most my dad thing in the world.
What happened?
So he decides that we're going to do this on weekends or whatever in the middle of winter so it doesn't disrupt the summer, correct?
Oh, smart.
Smart until you realize that there is no heat in the back lot and it is January and you are working on this when it's negative 10 degrees out.
Oh, no.
So I'm working inside, but it is 0 degrees in the building, freezing my ass off.
Space heater?
Well, let me get there.
Okay.
And so we're talking, but here's also a funny part. It took us too long. Like all we were doing was like replacing the sheetrock and like putting some flooring and, studs up, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we were doing the whole thing.
Right.
And this was our schedule that winter.
Mm-hmm.
We'd wake up, we'd be kind of ready to go around like 10 a.m. It's an hour drive out here. It's 11 a.m. We would work from like 11 to 1:30. Then we'd head over to the Cormorant Pub, get some lunch. Then we go back and work till about, that was about an hour. So you're 2:30, work till like 3:30, and then call it a day. So we were literally working like 2.5 hours at a time. And I don't know about you, but you can't get much done in 2.5 hours.
No, the stop and start
We spend more time driving and eating at the Cormorant Pub than we did working on the place.
And is that kind of because your dad preferred it that way, or were you and your brothers just little piles of bitch?
Well, because it was so cold. You're like, I can't. It's like, it's bad when your dad is even like, yeah, it's pretty cold. Let's go warm up and get some food.
You know what?
It's like
normally I would roast you on that, but this is a cold part of the country. This is a cold state.
It is.
I know this is Minnesota, but it's very close to North Dakota. It's it is brutal.
Yeah.
And that's tough when you're, working with your hands and you can't like feel your hands and you're.
Yes. And the kicker of the whole story is, Charlie.
Yeah.
About the last weekend we were working, my dad was like, "Oh, I got this propane heater." And I'm not talking like one you'd stick in your like ice shanty. I'm talking like an industrial sized propane heater. And I'm not shitting you. He lit that thing up and in 3 minutes we were sweating.
Really?
So the whole time we could have been working in warm weather, in warm indoor conditions.
You need a pair of gloves? I got an extra pair right here. My hands are sweating.
Pair of gloves this whole time. Yeah. And there was already sheetrock existing in the walls and he didn't want to take that off, but he wanted it insulated. So, and it's like a barn shape. So there's like a dead space in the roof.
Yeah.
Kind of like a
So you would get up there and.
So we cut a hole in the wall and me and my brothers had to go behind the sheetrock and shimmy on all of the rafters and put insulation up on the other side of the sheetrock. While shimmying and freezing our ass off.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you this much. You could probably shimmy between some sheetrock right now. You're in sheetrock shimmying shape.
And I was 50 pounds heavier at the time.
Were you really?
I don't know what it was. Maybe 20.
This was college, you said?
No, this is after college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This was. Did you have an actual job at this point that he was taking you away from, or?
I might have been working concrete at the time, so I did have the winters off.
Gotcha.
But
what was your? Oh yeah. Well, you finished.
Moral of the story is, when you're in the dead of winter, freezing your ass off, the Cormorant Pub is a warm oasis for you to go eat and drink at.
Is it? Because it feels very airy right now.
Well, no, inside. We're in the outdoor part. That's also the Cormorant Pub.
I see.
Charlie.
I see. That.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't ventured into that part yet, but this part is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that part's just as cool. Well, either way, it's nice to be here with you, Miles. Oh, you're taking your first bite of the cheese bake steak bites. Is that what that is?
So good.
It looks really good.
Wow. Very, very good.
I like that kind of pan, with the skillet pan, the skillet plate, where you think they put that plate right in that little skillet thing right in the oven. I bet they did. Let me touch it. Still warm.
Oh my God, that's hot.
Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to take some callers chilling here at the Cormorant Pub. Should we do it, Charlie?
Let's do it, my guy.
Well, my name is Joseph Roth, originally from Omaha, Nebraska, but I'm out in the Coast Guard, so I'm out here in Charleston, South Carolina right now.
All right.
I've been a caller in before, but I always love bellying up with the bar with you guys.
Hang on. Let me see if I remember it. Are you the Coast Guard that was talking about the cocaine?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, welcome back to the Bellied Up podcast.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Tell you what, wasn't sure I was going to make it through again, but good to be here.
But here you are. Well, why don't you belly up again with us and tell us what's on your mind?
So I got a car, and I know we used to do buy, sell, and trade on Bellied Up. I haven't heard one in a while, but I got a car, and I've been having some car issues. It's a 2008 Honda CRV, and I had the AC go out last week, which doesn't fare well in South Carolina in the summertime. And then when my girlfriend was visiting me, the starter went out. So the weekend she was here, I didn't, I took her to dinner in the car and then brought her back out to the car afterward to go to the next spot, go get some drinks, and car didn't start.
You couldn't
that wasn't
start
a real
her.
great look as the boyfriend.
No.
Didn't start, yeah.
So if you're buy, selling,
then I
or
wanted to
trading
be the
this
manly-
car, you're not doing a good job selling it.
Yeah, you got to start with the positives, bury the negatives.
Well, let me tell you. All right. So I got the starter fixed. It was a parking lot fix. Got her up and running, and boy, she starts like a champ now. It's almost like the starter's going to run away before the car catches up. And lo and behold, got the starter fixed, and the AC kicked right back on. Good to go.
Okay.
A little finicky, but she works. She works about 75% of the time. And
you're talking about your car?
so yeah, my car. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and you got the starter going with your girlfriend sitting there watching?
No, unfortunately, had to take it to the shop, but she was watching us try in the parking lot. Didn't work out too well. Was a real downer as a boyfriend. Real, not a great boyfriend moment. I'll be honest.
No.
One of my lowest lows on the manliness scale.
She was probably thinking about past boyfriends that could have got that thing fired up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't great, but I bought her a few drinks and we're good to go now. So it's all good.
Oh, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. So are you trying to trade this car now, or are you trying to sell it? What are you trying to do if it's such a great car now and everything's working fine?
Well, really what it brought me to think about, and I wanted your guys' opinions and thoughts and just recollections of the classic Midwest high school car. Because I feel like if I were to buy, sell, or trade, this would be a good high school car for someone, driving around, no AC, spent their lawnmower money. But I just remember driving around, and I had a bronze Toyota Camry, 99. Naturally, the door handles didn't match the paint color of the trunk or the body.
Nor should it.
Yeah, exactly. But I just thought about a lot of my friends had the red Grand Prix. Do you guys remember that one?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to suggest was the ultimate high school car. I knew a lot of guys with the old Grand Prix.
You called them Grand Prix if they were annoying you. You like that, Miles? That was good. I'll pat myself on the back for that. No, there's nothing better than the classic high school Midwest car. I'll tell you about mine real quick. It was my aunt's mom's Buick. I believe it was a 1986, one of those boxy deals. Wasn't the big old boat. It was like half the boat, but the ceiling felt, was sort of dragging down, and it had to be pinned up. And it was pinned up by like a bunch of star pins because my aunt had it. So, and then I backed it into my dad's trailer hitch. I put a hole in it, put a bumper sticker over the hole. It was a Jesus Saves bumper sticker because that was all in the car. Yep. And I just had to, Jesus saved my ass that night. That's for sure. And then eventually what I did was I was able to put a hole in the piece of plastic that got chunked in and then put a fishing line through and wrapped it around. Then I was able to pull that chunk out so it looked good enough that you couldn't really tell that much. And I was pretty impressed with myself there. Miles, what was your high school car?
So mine was a hand-me-down Dodge Dakota Sport pickup. I was rolling good.
Dang. And you were the high school quarterback too, weren't you?
Yeah, it's just I was riding dirty, as I think the kids call it. Yeah. They see me rolling, they hating. That was me.
Patrolling.
No, by the time I got it, 3 of the 4 speakers in the car were blown out.
Well,
it didn't have any, bells back then. There was no Bluetooth capabilities. So what I would do is I'd take my iPod and plug it into a cassette tape with a aux cord connected to it, and I'd slap that baby in there. And, then it was like, you're the talk of the town. You can now listen to whatever music you want to in that thing.
Anything.
The trim was falling off the side. In the winter, I'd have to throw sandbags back there because it was so light in the back.
Yeah, it's a light truck.
So it was actually my older brother drove it. I drove it. My younger brother drove it, and my dad sold it after that for actually like $4,000 or something. He got a pretty good deal.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. The AC probably still works. So
yeah, that'll happen. So.
I will say my favorite adult car was Volkswagen Rabbit 1981 diesel, stick shift, 5 on the floor, and you couldn't really get it into first gear. You had to rev it up enough to pop it into second, and then because of that, you had just a black cloud of smoke just go up, but it got 45 miles to the gallon, so that was nice. You just had to have an oil can in the car at all times to reload it every now and again, or the entire engine would seize up. And then I camoed it. I camoed it up at the Legend Larry's parking lot in Manitowoc with my brother and a few friends. That was nice. You just take, if you want to camo, if you want to camo your car out there, folks, it was nice for me because it started off as a tan color, so you already have a great base camo deal.
Oh yeah,
and then you just went
for a desert camo look.
Well, actually, no. This was just taking a duck pattern.
Yeah.
So then I got the green and I got the black, just 2 colors, and those 3 colors together, now it was a duck hunting car. It's beautiful. I love that thing. Unfortunately, it now rests in pieces somewhere in Wapaka. So that's how that goes. But yeah, there's nothing better.
Was it after Brad Paley's hit song Camouflage or before? Like, were you kind of the inspiration for that song probably?
I'd like to say I was the inspiration. I definitely wasn't. That song was out. And I think this was at the early stages of Manitowoc Minute. So I wanted to camo a car like my duck jacket. So that was kind of the inspiration there. Yeah, it was an adult car. Got a decent deal on it, though. Got it off Craigslist. But, yeah.
So are you selling, or trading your car that works really good?
Oh, I'd like to sell it. If someone's interested, just let me know. Blue Honda CRV. It's got year-old tires on it. Just did an oil change and a starter change. Brand new starter. Don't ask about the AC. All-wheel drive. Comes with a trailer hitch.
What ball?
Looking for $3,000. My brother My brother offered me $200, but I'm looking for $3,000 if that's possible.
Okay, so are you willing to do
2-inch hitch?
Okay.
2-inch hitch.
Are you looking 3,000 OBO or best offer, or is it is it a firm $3,000?
Oh, we could start with 3,000 OBO. We could do that.
Okay.
How many miles you got on that sucker?
Let's see. I got it with 101,000. It's at 130,000, I think.
130. Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, that's so those tires. Yeah, I mean, you're Coast Guard, so you're spend most of your time on the drink. So yeah, in the past year, how many miles have you put on? How many miles are on those tires? Where is the penny when you put it up to those tires?
Oh, the mile. Oh, tread great. Penny sticks all the way in.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
I probably only put probably 2,000 miles on these tires, if that.
Really? In the past year?
Oh, I've been underway a lot.
Yeah.
Someone's got to guard the coast. I know you guys aren't doing it.
Well,
I am quite literally as far away from the coast as you can almost get. I live in Fargo, North Dakota. It is directly in the middle of the country, as far away from the coast as possible.
Miles is in a tsunami-free
and thank you
zone.
for your service for living there.
Well, I'm protecting the Canadian border. You never know when those fuckers will attack us, you know?
The Mounties.
That is true. That is true.
I'm just kidding. I love the Canadians.
He's got to say that because they're ready to go at any time.
That was very diplomatic of me.
Yeah.
JK, guys.
It would not be hard for them to find you, Miles. If
Say
people,
sorry, they'll understand. They always do.
if someone down there in South Carolina or wherever is interested in this Honda CRV 2000 Blue, how can they get a hold of you?
Tell them to find me on Instagram. It's Roth IRA 14.
No way. 14, you said?
Oh yeah, it's Roth IRA 14.
Okay. I thought you got just Roth IRA, and I was like, that is a great handle. Okay.
Oh no, it'd be legendary. I think that one was already taken though. Some financial bank company. I don't know. It's our family business, but they took it over from us. I don't know what happened. But.
Okay, Roth IRA 14. If you're looking for a lately used, only got 130,000 miles on it, so not too shabby. $3,000 OBO. Hit them up.
How much rust is on it underneath? Because you're right by the ocean.
Oh, underneath? No, none underneath.
None.
I got a little bubble spot on the hood.
If you got a bubble
underneath, she's in mint condition.
If you got a bubble spot on the roof, you for sure have rust underneath.
No, not on the roof. It's on the hood.
I want to see some pictures of your undercarriage. That's what I want to see.
Hey, I don't know if you can say that over your podcast there. Hold on.
We're edgy here.
I'll allow it if you're both consenting adults.
Just quick follow-up. You may have nothing here, nothing to report, but have you found any more drug dealers since last we talked?
Since last time we talked, no more drug dealers. They've been slowing down in the waters after we put out that podcast.
Charlie, we won the war on drugs.
We did. It's the little things that we do here on the Bellied Up podcast. I think all of Columbia heard that podcast and they're like, we're not going up.
They're on to us.
Yeah, they're on to. They know. Even the Midwest knows. Once the Midwest knows, they know that's no longer a route they can take. Anyway, thank you for protecting the coast, and watch out for sharks out there.
Talk to you guys later.
We'll see ya. That's good. It's nice to get a good.
You think you can get $3,000 for that?
No chance in hell.
I was gonna say you might want to take that $200, his brother.
Yeah, Yeah, it's cars is tough, man. Although the prices have held ever since COVID, you can do pretty good on an automobile. But that one, although those Hondas, I gotta tell you, man, the Japanese know how to make a car. I mean,
They do go forever.
They go forever. Yeah. My uncle had
which is dumb because then no one buys a new car. It's not a great business plan by the Japanese.
What I heard is that the Japanese make their cars knowing that people are not going to take care of them, whereas American cars are usually made with the idea that people are going to take care of them, which is the least American thing you can do.
But classic Americans, though, being delusional about Americans.
That is classic America. But my grandpa Bob, he had a Honda minivan, and my uncle Joel took it after. And it just my grandpa Bob passed in 2019, and the van just got smoked by a deer. But it had 350,000 miles on it. Isn't that crazy? My Uncle Joel, and it still would have gone had that dang deer not hit the sucker. But yeah, it was totaled. So rest in pieces, Grandpa Bob's minivan.
Oh, you are talking to Grant from Michigan.
Grant from Michigan. Thanks for calling in, man. What's going on?
Well, I got quite the predicament.
Okay.
Came to the right place, Grant. I'll grant you that.
There he is, Charlie, my favorite host.
Oh, shots fired. Miles is offended.
No, I'm not delusional, Charlie. I know that you are the beloved bellied up host. I get it. Miles, I'm too rough around the edges sometimes with you, and you're like the sweetheart kid.
I play it up. I know what.
I'm not delusional. I know they like you more than me. It's okay.
That's not true, Miles. That's not true. Just your mom and a few other people.
Yeah. So I don't take offense, Grant. I won't hold it against you.
Grant, you got Miles at a good moment. He just crushed. What did he say?
No, I'm laughing about what you're about to say.
Oh, he just crushed a 1919 root beer. He was like, "Hey, can I get a root beer? You see it on tap?" I just looked over at that root beer. It's gone. I've never seen a man chug a root. We got to get this call going because Miles is blasting on a sugar high, and he's getting a tummy ache. So,
I mean, there was a lot of ice in there. It was maybe 6 ounces of root beer.
There wasn't that much ice. He housed it.
Okay.
And now he's getting a refill.
Grant,
he's getting a refill.
Now and again, you just got an unbelievable hankering for a root beer. And now he just refilled me.
I get it.
I'm going to have a little bit of that root beer.
There you go, Charlie. Okay, sorry.
Oh, that goes down fast.
It was true, though. I literally, before this call started, I got it 30 seconds before that, and it was already gone.
When I called it out, it's kind of like when your parents catch you, like hiding like like an entire box of fruit roll-up wrappers under the couch. Did you eat all these already? The hell is the matter with you? Anyways, Grant, what's predicaments? What's on your mind, my guy?
I graduated college probably about 3 years ago.
What'd you graduate with?
I live in a house full of. You
live in a house full of a communications degree.
No, maybe. But don't forget the minor. It's marketing.
Oh, and marketing. Yeah, it sounds like you got 3 roommates right now. So what's going on?
So I got a roommate. He graduated around the same time as me. So, and he's just, he's single. He's very single. And we just can't get him to go out and, meet women. So he works from home. So he's always at home and never quite leaves the house after work hours. So my question is, how can I get this man to just talk to a woman? Maybe go on a date.
Okay, well, hold on here. What's his vibe? Is he happy? Is he lonely? Is he sad? How does he feel about his current situation?
Is he into guys? I mean, he could be dating a lot, and you guys just don't know it. How well do you know your roommate?
He always has his buddy over.
Yeah, he always has Tom over. Yeah, how well do you know him?
His vibe. I know him pretty well. We ran in college together, so I've known him for like 5 years. Okay. So I like to think I know him pretty well.
So
enough to know that he doesn't like guys, hopefully. So
okay, so you know he's, but you know he's in, you know
He's
what he's
interested in
attracted to.
yeah, I would hope it's women. I mean, I think it's women. It's definitely women.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's a situation with that too.
Listen, any way you swing the bat is completely fine. It's just we got to get these details right in order to help this fella. If he wants to be helped, he could also
Well,
be
that's the
one
thing.
of.
Is he sad and lonely?
He's not sad and lonely. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know.
How well? You just said you knew him really well.
Now you don't know if he's straight or not.
I like to say, I feel like if you live in a house with like 4 guys total, you don't get lonely. That's for sure.
Okay. So are you projecting onto him what you would want in his scenario, or do you think he wants to meet a gal?
I think he wants to meet a gal.
Okay.
There's a little bit of like backstory with women though.
There's a what with
Backstory.
women? Backstory. Well, okay. What's the backstory?
Yeah, there you go, Charlie. Not listening, golly.
You know, and you know what, Grant? I am listening. It's hard to hear sometimes because, you know what? I don't need to defend myself, Grant. Why don't you just give us that backstory, my guy? Let's hear it.
So he may have liked a woman in college, and it may have been like 2-3 years since that woman has said, no, I'm not interested. And he may still be trying to talk to that woman, but I don't know. He doesn't like to talk about it. So what does that tell you?
So he's hung up on a girl that doesn't want him.
The one that got away.
For 2 years, though?
Oh, it can happen.
I've seen it happen. I had a buddy that was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good.
No.
Not good. I think what you call that is the friend zone. Correct, Charlie?
Yeah. I think he's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the friend zone can be the danger zone if it lasts too long and you're thinking there's something else there. So, is he, is he a good looking guy? Is he, got a better personality than.
Is he a short king?
Yeah.
He's not a short king. He runs every day. He's still doing all the running. So he's got a little bit of a skinny body to him, but he's got a little fluff over the six pack, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
All right. So
he's got a beard. Women like facial hair, right?
Yeah, he's got a beard. How tall is he?
5'11", 5'10" area.
Let's call it 6 foot. Call it 6 foot.
Hey, yeah.
Okay.
If we're building a dating profile, you round up always.
Round up, pump his tires a little bit, all right?
Okay. What kind of woman do you think he's interested in? Well, describe the woman that he's been hung up on. Maybe we can, it's like Indiana Jones when he's stealing the treasure and replaces the thing on it.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do in this scenario.
A sleight of
we gotta
hand
replace.
Here.
All right. He's from a small town here in Michigan. He still every weekend goes to Bill. Hey, so if that tells you how much he loves a small town. So he's a little country boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say we want a little country girl to go with that country boy.
But the girl that he's hung up on, what's she like? What does she look like? What does she do?
Oh, I don't want to get into specifics. I would say she's probably like that. She's also from a small town. So
yeah, but she got brown hair, blonde hair, red hair, no hair.
Oh, I would say dirty blonde.
Okay. He's looking for another small town country gal because he's a small town country boy. Get him on Farmers Only. That's an easy one right there. Is he on the dating apps or no?
Yeah.
You know what? Forget the dating apps.
He doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's not a great way. Do you? So he's gone during the weekends. Weekends are out. Take him to make it easy for him. He likes running? Does he like trivia? Take him to a trivia night. Take him to Dart League. You can meet some stellar gals at Dart League. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah.
Charlie, I'm getting a little bit feeling like this guy. You know how when, you maybe date a good gal in high school and you guys break up and then you go to college, you really need to then date an insane woman? to like get the other woman off of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to first find them a palate cleansing girlfriend.
A rebound of sorts.
Yeah. So essentially,
someone to set the bar low for next time.
Yeah, that's good.
Not so much the bar low, just someone who's maybe a little bit crazy, you know? And so what I think you need to do is...
I just don't know crazy people.
You're not trying to find his wife. You're trying to find the girl that will then eventually find his wife. And so what you're going to need to look for is the local hairdresser. Whoever that is, just hook him up with her.
There goes our hairdresser audience. Miles, thank you.
Not every hairdresser is crazy, but most crazy gals are hairdressers. That is just... You know,
I got a cousin that's very upset right now.
Is she crazy?
A little bit. She doesn't listen. Okay. You know what, Grant? There's a lot of focus that you're putting on your roommate. We're gonna get back to your roommate. What's your dating situation right now?
I went ring shopping this past weekend, so that tells you my dating situation. There you go.
Wow, I see. So everything's going good with you. So now you got a little extra time on your hands, and you're focusing on your roommate.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Does your
I feel bad for him.
Does your well? Some people are just happy single. How old is he?
20. We'll say 25 or 24.
How well do you know this guy,
You
Grant?
don't know this guy at all.
Yo.
What day is his birthday?
How often do you... I don't know. What day is Miles' birthday?
Miles' birthday is on March 19th.
You are pulling... Yeah, right. You pulled that right out of your butt.
22nd.
Damn it. Did you get married on the 19th?
18th.
The 18th. I knew that is... Did I wish you a happy birthday?
I think I got married on the 18th. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right. Roughly, I know what day Miles'
you passed
birthday
that test, all right? Okay.
Why? You have a fiance. She knows...
A hairdresser.
No, soon to be.
What's your roommate's name?
I can't say it. I told him I wouldn't say name.
Okay.
He's on a run right now. I told him I might get on.
So you told him you were going to do this?
Probably.
Okay. All right. Hold on. We're pausing this call. When he gets back from his run, you are going to call back in, and we are going to discuss with both of you.
Dude, it's gonna be like an hour and a half.
That's fine. We got the time.
All right. I mean, it's gonna be a while.
Oh, it's gonna be a while until we get.
Call him and tell him to turn around and come back.
I can't.
All right.
Here's the simple solution. Your soon-to-be fiance has friends. One of her friends would date him, right?
Well, here's the thing. So one of her friends is already dating one of my other roommates.
Does she only have two friends? What's going on?
Yeah, kind of. Most of her friends are also engaged or married, so it's that time of year, dude.
That time of year?
What the fuck is that?
It's like hunting season, but wedding season.
Wow.
Okay.
You guys are very young, making some big choices. That's good. Okay.
I would you could try gaslighting him a little bit and be like, I don't think you can get a girlfriend. He sounds like
we've never done that.
He sounds like he's a competitive guy. He likes to run. He was in college track or cross country or whatever. Is maybe be like, I've given up on you. I don't think you can find a girlfriend, and then that'll really make him mad.
If you really want him to get him a dog. This is what you do. Get him a dog. Make it a cute dog.
Get him a dog.
Yeah. Make it a very.
You do realize.
I do
I
realize.
have to deal with that dog, too.
Well, how much do you like your friend? You get him a real cute dog. You deal with the dog pissing on your stuff once in a while in the puppy stage, but you better get him a puppy. That is prime time to find yourself a gal.
Yep.
Get to the dog park. You find a bunch of other dog lovers there. They are going to be obsessed with his dog. They're not going to look at his face probably for the 10 times that they meet him. You know, when you see someone that they see a cute dog, they're like, oh my God, what's his name? Oh, here's a treat. Have a treat. His name's Roxy. Oh, Roxy. That's such a cute name for a dog. Oh my gosh. All right, see you later. And they never look at your face. But by the 10th time, I bet they'll look up at your roommate's face and they've already fallen in love with the dog. And then from there, it's an easy getting the number situation, because they'll at least take a date where they can have unlimited time with Roxy. Roxy, also weird name for a male dog, but it could be female. It doesn't matter. Rocco or Roxy, either way. All right, so get them a dog. That is the deal. And the rest of you roommates need to just deal with it, okay? Deal with it. You're all in this together, and you're doing it for your friend whose birthday you don't even know.
Yeah, well, that was horrible advice.
Yeah, you figure that out, but let us know what happens. And when he gets back from that run, give us a call back and we'll give you more details.
Well, okay. All right. Yeah, I'll give you a call back.
All right. We'll look out for it.
All right.
All right. You have a good one now.
Maybe his buddy is just asexual. There's like some people out there that just aren't that interested in dating anyone.
And that's okay.
Just totally fine. Honestly, business-wise, it would be great to be asexual.
Yeah, I mean,
spend all your time working.
Right.
You're not even worried about the rest of it.
Workaholic, and so maybe that's his deal. I don't know. I think
he likes running too much.
Yeah,
he's married to the running game.
He's married to the game. There's a lot of information Grant wasn't giving us there, so I think it would only be productive if the guy calls back. He's just hesitant with the details on it, you know. Because also, if your fiance, you gotta have more friends, and there's something else going on. Yeah.
Well, should we take another caller?
Let's do it.
Lake days, Charlie. Nothing beats lounging by the water with a drink in hand. You know what you should try next time you're doing that?
What's that, Miles?
Try mixing up a Tippy Cow's orange cream with a splash of citrus soda and a squeeze of fresh lemon.
I'm going to try right now.
It's a creamsicle in a glass, perfect for soaking up the sun.
Speaking of which, it looks like a sunset.
That is actually a mixture I don't think I would have thought of, Charlie.
Well, Miles, the nice
citrus soda, orange, and a little fresh lemon. That actually sounds very refreshing.
Yeah.
After we're done bellied up here and we go back to Lake, you and I are going to do one of those up.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. So, guys, here's a little toast for you. Here's to Lake days and a cold glass of Tippy Cow orange cream. Cheers to summer fun.
Creaming on
Charlie.
Up. Russell, how's it living?
It's living good. Busy legal work, but having fun. The weather's getting nice, and we're gonna speak that Midwest summer is on the horizon. I can see it. I can almost taste it. So it's going well.
I like it when you can taste it in the air, you know? It's just that's a little bit of charcoal mixed with little wood burning, mixed with little sunscreen, mixed with little freshly cut lawn, mixed with is that chlorine? You know, and there you have it. Summer. Anyways, get to the point, Charlie. Underrated injuries.
Yeah, so we
got this question.
We were talking, and we were wondering, you know the obvious ones, getting hit in the head with a garage door.
Okay,
you're driving a forklift and you crash and this and that. Maybe you're on a ladder, it falls over. But what are some of the injuries you've seen that people got to be looking out for that they don't necessarily think about that you've had to deal with? Yeah, so this is one thing, and you hear people make fun of it, like, oh, I was in a car accident and I got a back and neck injury and I'm in this brace or something like that. And actually, and you'll hear the insurance companies say, well, you don't have an injury to your back or neck, you just have degenerative conditions. And they've made this kind of like a naughty word, but degenerative conditions to your back
and basically like natural aging. And so not to get in all the science of your back, but you've got all these discs in your back and vertebrae, and it's super important, obviously, right, for how you move and what you do. And so often individuals as we get older, and I actually just had a deposition I was taking of a orthopedic surgeon yesterday, and I asked him, hey, doctor, because he worked for the insurance company, so I need to flush that out, make sure we're all on the same page so the jury would know if it goes to jury trial. Hey, what's degenerative back? That's normal aging. Yep, I agree with that. I said, how many of us at age 50 have a degenerative back? And there's more at even younger ages, but it gets obviously higher as you get older. At age 50, this orthopedic surgeon said 100% of people have degenerative back. So like basically it's just normal aging. And so as we age, and some of us, our backs age a little bit faster, if we're in sports or we're doing, maybe we've had some pre-existing injuries and things like that. But under Wisconsin law and Minnesota law, if someone gets injured, the person that injured them is responsible for that person for any of the aggravation. So we call it the eggshell plaintiff rule. You take someone as you find them. So if they have an aging back, which we all do, or their back's a little bit more degenerated because of, heavy sports, some folks will get much worse of a spinal injury, whether it's to the discs or it's to the spinal cord because of their back, the age that they are, or maybe they had a pre-existing illness or injury. And so a lot of those things, people will say, oh, my back, I just got a neck and back ache. And it turns out, well, no, you might have a disc injury that might be affecting your nerve system. It can cause radicular pain that runs down. So I'm nerding out on all of it. But basically, when people get back and neck injuries, you see on TV, the jokes about it, but it's really serious. And often you can have one person that maybe has extremely healthy back and they get in a car accident and, not a big deal. But then another individual that's maybe 50 years old, or perhaps their back has just aged quicker because of, physical, hard work, kind of job, like construction job or anything like that. And they may have much worse injuries, and it's not their fault. That's just, how, but it is a responsibility of the person that hit them. And so often the insurance company try to pull that card saying, hey, you know what? You're not really injured. There's no way you could. You have a degenerative back. And it's like, well, yeah, we all do. So I guess long answer to your short question.
No, that's really interesting.
We got to take care of our backs, Charlie.
I went to the chiropractor, and the chiropractors use this degenerative back thing too to get you. They're like, you got degenerative back. You got to come in here twice a week and do 2 appointments. Otherwise, I don't know. So a lot of people use the degenerative back against you. Insurance companies doing it in a different way, But luckily, we got Russell here to know these things and say hold on to your bucket. So in some ways, hey Russell, I got sideswiped by a semi about 1.5 years ago, and my lower back hurts. What can we do about this?
Yeah, so that's when someone contacts us too. We want to make sure that they're actually following through with treatment, because a lot of us too, as you guys know, in the Midwest, we just try to tough it out.
Yeah.
Most of us don't want to go to doctors. So we just try to move on, but it's important to figure out, you can go to a chiropractor, but generally depending on the accident, you also want to see a medical doctor and get some imaging and things like that. And just find out, for example, if you do have a disc injury, because there's things that can be done. Like my dad, total Midwest guy, grew up on a farm. He's like milking cows when he was 5. He gets in a vehicle accident, and he's kind of that guy. Oh, yep, nothing wrong with me. And then he's getting worse. And so finally we did get him to a doctor. Turns out he had a disc injury and had to get surgery. So you gotta, you can't just say, hey, I'm Midwest tough. I mean, we are, and it's awesome, but you got to take those things seriously, especially, as your back is aging, you're just more susceptible to injury.
I like how he said, don't go to a chiropractor, go to a real doctor.
Well, I didn't say that. I said you can go to a chiropractor.
But you said, but go to a real doctor.
You guys are putting words in my mouth. I just said, sometimes you want to go to a medical doctor. doctor. So they're a doctor of chiropractic or, that kind of stuff. And that's fine. There's a place and time for it, but also going to a medical doctor is helpful, especially in orthopedics.
Backpedal. Looks like I am.
Oh, come on, Miles.
Looks like I am a better lawyer than Charlie. I backed the pro into a corner.
Miles, I think we got to rewind the tape and see if that's what he actually said to see if you're a better lawyer, because I don't remember him saying that personally.
Yeah. I do feel like you might be twisting my words a little bit, Miles, but I suppose we could go back and listen to the tape and see what I did or didn't say.
He's for certain twisting the intent of the words, even if you didn't mean it and you did say the chiropractors are fake doctors. You definitely didn't mean to say that. So
I didn't. Let's just be clear. I did not say that.
Okay. I don't know. Now we're both muddying the waters, and it's like we dropped your glasses on the bottom of the lake, Russell, and now Miles and I are just down there trying to find them, but we're muddying the waters.
Regardless if you said it or not, I have planted the seed of doubt in the juror's mind, is all I'm saying.
That's what it's all about.
Can't undo that seed of doubt, Russell, so...
Yeah, I feel like, and then you guys just keep kind of reiterating in different fashions, and now it's almost becoming like a truth, even though I did not say that.
No, Russell, we know you would never say chiropractor is a fake job and not real, and you should never go there or trust them. We know you would never say that.
No, I would never say that. You're correct.
Well, now some people have said, though, I've heard that you did say that.
No way to confirm. So
it's amazing. It's amazing how this is where all fake news comes from, right here.
It's a classic he said situation.
It's a classic.
Well, man.
You don't like us very much, do you, Russell?
Well, we just lost him all his chiropractor business. He calls in to try to spread the message of just being everyone's lawyer, Miles, and being a good guy, and now you come in here accuse him of not liking chiropractors.
Next marketing campaign: chiropractors are real doctors.
I would just, obviously chiropractors have their time and place, and so do medical doctors or orthopedists. So everything helps, and obviously, you even see pro athletes do chiropractic care, PT, acupuncture, and then they also have orthopedic doctors. So everybody's got their time and place in the injury care, just keeping people healthy. So that's where I sit on it. Even if Miles is going to take that now and twist it in some other way, but I feel like you guys, I'm not sure if that's if that's you just trying to advocate for you to win the you versus Charlie as the best lawyer. You're trying to plant that seed in my head right now, and maybe that's what you're doing.
I think it's working against him. I think he took the wrong legal arguing tactic, to the debate tactic, to get to where he's got to be. I think he screwed the pooch on that. Now I'm the winner.
Yeah, I think they call that objection, mischaracterization of previous testimony. So,
I like that. That's a nice little handful of words. I'm going to put that in my pipe and smoke it.
You can object all you want. The jurors heard what I said, and they can't unthink it.
I don't know. We're going to have to probably do this trial, and maybe we're going to have to get a jury together, and you guys, we're going to put one of you on each side, and that's the only way this is going to be settled. And I will be, kind of the referee as the judge, but ultimately we'll have to have a jury of your peers. We can have like a 7-person or 12-person jury, basically.
We got to find 12 friends, Charlie.
Oh, I thought we were looking for 12 dogs.
No, we're not finding friends. We got to find objective people. So we're going to pull them out of the crowd.
That's the political answer, but you got to find some friends.
Well, if you got the right skills, though, Miles, right, by the end of the jury trial, they're all going to be your friends.
That's true. Very smart.
Is it okay to bribe jurors?
No. You cannot bribe jurors.
But can you just say, hey, you guys, if you want after this, you can come up to the lake house for the summer. You can do that, right?
I think that may be a bribe.
Oh.
No, what if you're just like, hey, I'm going to be at the packing house later. I'm probably just going to have an open tab for the place. So just do with that information as you'd like.
Yeah. Or
I suppose you're just throwing it out there for the public at large. Like,
Yeah.
I will just may happen to be at the packing house. I just may happen to be drinking beers. I just may happen to have open tab all night.
Yeah.
If anybody happens to stop by, great.
Yeah.
And we don't discriminate, jurors or no. Also, if you jurors look underneath your seat, I gave you a beer. You get a beer,
Right.
and you get a beer, and you get a beer.
Yeah, so basically what I'm hearing is when I am the judge, if this trial happens, I'm going to have to, like, one, watch you guys with, like, a hawk eye, like eagle eye, and then two, I'm probably going to need a bailiff or someone there to keep order in the court because of the shenanigans that maybe happened to my potential jurors.
Yeah.
So,
Welcome to the animal house. This isn't a courtroom anymore.
Don't you think we're not going to bribe the bailiff?
that's a good point.
Everyone gets a taste. Everyone gets a taste. I've seen Casino. I know how it works.
So basically, I'll be in this courtroom, and I'll be the only one that's not bribed, but everybody else will. Yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. This seems like
don't
don't
be
think
interesting.
you're not going to miss out on,
the beak.
old St. Charlie's presents, okay? I got some good beard oil suppliers, and you'll find a little some.
So I just might happen to find up when I'm sitting in the courtroom, there just happens to be some brand new beard oil and beard cream and maybe like a 6-pack of beer underneath my seat.
Yeah, I
Might
don't
just
know how
happen.
that got there, but
Might just happen.
well, Russell, thanks for calling in, man. This has been great. I think the listeners will decide for themselves what you said about chiropractors, and you are at the mercy of the jury of our peers, right, Charlie?
Yep. 14-footers.
I really appreciate that. Thanks, Miles.
Yeah.
I'll have to be doing. I'm gonna PR campaign after this to prove my innocence. So.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good work, and guys, call Nicolay if you need some help. So,
Heck yeah.
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate you guys.
Be good. We'll see you soon.
Hey, it's Willie.
Hey, Willie. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Washington State.
Ooh.
I drove to Montana last week, and oh geez, from about Coeur d'Alene to just outside of St. Regis, endless construction on Interstate 90
yeah,
Oof.
in both directions.
it's that time of year, isn't it, Charlie?
It is road construction season, my
Charlie,
guy.
tell me about the 4 seasons the
yes.
Midwest has.
Of course, you've got fall, you got winter, you got spring, and you got road construction season. And sometimes it bleeds into those other seasons depending on the weather. And it is a tough one. It's a tough go. But hey, those potholes are not going to fill themselves. All right. So, you complain about one, you get the other. It's just how it goes.
Very, very true. Yeah.
Those beautiful orange flowers are in full bloom, my guy. So the question is, what do you do when you're in that construction zone?
I try and just go the speed limit the best I can, and it's a little bit anxiety inducing when you have the teeny little orange cones and you have semi trucks coming at you the other direction, because they closed down the eastbound lanes, both eastbound lanes of I-90 in Idaho. So the eastbound traffic is going in the westbound lane, and then the westbound traffic's going in the right lane. And this happened in both directions in Idaho. And oh, geez, it's hard not to look at the scenery, because Interstate 90 through Idaho and Montana, it's
beautiful.
One of the most beautiful things you'll ever see.
And you got those white knuckles going.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you kind of, you got nothing left to do but pay attention to the road in those scenarios. And, just hope that everybody else is also paying attention to the road, because one mistake, one veer to the left or to the right, and oh no, then you got some bigger issues. You got an insurance situation on your hands. But what is your question specifically with all of this traffic?
My question is, what
that I do to sort of de-stress while I'm going down the road and while I'm waiting, because that's the other thing. As soon as I got off of the highway and I went up through St. Regis, there was at the very end of 135, when you turn left onto 200 to go towards Kalispell, there was a guy in the neon vest with the slow stop sign. And that thing was at the stop sign pointed towards me for about 30 minutes. I was sitting in the same spot for 30 whole minutes.
You got to be kidding me. Do you have a deck of cards?
I wasn't. I should have. My cousin was texting me like, "Hey, what's your ETA on getting here? I'm going to order pizza." I'm like, "I'm not sure. This construction guy's been at his sign pointed to stop for about a half hour now, so I honestly don't know when I'm going to get there."
Yeah, you were about to order pizza to that spot, you know?
Yeah, it would have been nice and toasty warm since my car doesn't have air conditioning.
Oh, geez. All you had were the windows to keep you cool? Do those at least work?
Yep, the windows and this little neck fan I got for my birthday that actually works really well.
Oh, did you get a nice neck fan?
Mm-hmm.
What kind?
Worked very well in the 90-degree Montana sun.
Yeah. Does that plug right into the cigarette lighter then?
No, it's just a rechargeable thing that you use through USB-C, and then it lasts about 5 or 6 hours. It was
where can a guy find a good neck fan these days?
Yeah,
probably Amazon or something like that.
Okay. Sure, we'll have to look for one of those.
If you have an old Honda Civic like I do, and it doesn't have air conditioning, that's your best choice, probably.
Well, we actually have a guy who has a blue Honda CRV with 130,000 miles on it, and the AC works about 75% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be in the market to buy $3,000 OBO or best offer?
Yeah.
Does that interest you at all?
I just thought the Civic. We had an old Honda van for about 21 years, and then we used to live around Cleveland, Ohio, and the rust just ate that thing up.
Yeah.
So
the salt on the roads, it'll do that.
Lake
but
Erie coming off the lake.
Still 21 years though. I mean, congratulations.
So 21 years and 211,000 miles we got out of that Odyssey. It was a workhorse.
And how did it finally go, that Odyssey?
Well, I was driving to work one day.
Oh.
The check engine light came on, and I was like, oh, shoot. And then the traction control light came on, and I was like, oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
So I got home. I plugged the little scanner thing into it, and it said, the code is a knock sensor. And I went to my dad, and he's like, oh, shoot, not again. Because I guess what that meant is that somehow, some way, somewhere where I parked it when I was out in the public somewhere, rodents had found their way into the engine, and the car was clean as a whistle, but somehow rodents had found their way into the engine, chewed the knock sensor wires, and my mechanic was like, it's going to be $3,000 to fix this.
Oof. Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah. Well, you rode it for 200,000 God-loving miles, and you did good.
I grew up in that van.
Did you? It's tough.
You guys didn't have a home and you lived out of the van, or?
No. We just, my folks bought that van when I was 6 months old, and I'm now 22, and that's really the vehicle that's been around my entire life. We moved us from Cleveland to Washington, and
you are 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How old did you think he was, Charlie?
You sound about 73.
I had you no younger than 60 years old. And that's a compliment. You sound like an old soul, but you could knock me over with a feather right now that you are 22 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that Joe Pera thing going for you right now. It's good.
Yeah, my cousin actually, who lives in Texas, my cousin-in-law, he was actually just up in Marquette, Michigan, and he told me I should watch that show on HBO Max, Joe Pera Talks with You.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a little bit of it. I like it.
Yeah. Do you notice any similarities in your patterns of communication?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I even, I was out visiting my family. I was, hanging out with one of my first cousins, and I got him into your two's videos. He loves them.
Hell yeah. So you had brought up, a way to de-stress on the road. Considering how we thought you were maybe 60 years old, I think a good way to de-stress on the road is just listen to the Midwest Survival Guide on the audiobook. Charlie's audiobook.
There you go.
And thank you, Miles, for that plug. I do appreciate it. That should give you at least 9 hours, depending on what speed you're listening to it at. Miles usually listens to it at 20x. But I will say, I think I see a business opportunity here, Miles.
Okay.
Here's what I think. Willie, I want you to get your nearest dictionary, and I want you to just read it. The whole thing, and I want you to record it. And I think that would be one of the most soothing things for anybody in traffic to listen to, and I think it could solve the road rage problem in America today. And I think they would just sell like hotcakes. Do you have
you do have a very nice voice.
You really do. Yeah. Could you just pull up any news article and just read it to us just for a little bit?
Yeah, my computer right here.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that was about 9 hours of driving I did over the course of last Monday. But oh man, it was all worth it. Montana is one of the most beautiful states I've ever been to.
Keep talking, Willie. Why is it so beautiful, man?
Oh, you have the mountains all around you, and as soon as you exit the Lolo Pass, you enter just into all these flatlands, and then you see Flathead Lake, and it's just the most beautiful thing you
describe
ever
Flathead
seen.
Lake. Describe that for us.
Flathead Lake, it's really clean. I got to swim in it on last Wednesday, and starts out, you're on the shore, you have all your stuff laying in your baggie. You walk out to the lake, and there's these you should be wearing like shower shoes or some sort of swim shoes, because the rocks are really jagged and they'll kind of hurt your feet. But once that's all done, you get to the really nice, soft and squishy sand, and it's actually really shallow up for about quarter mile or so. And once you're done with that, you sort of start getting into the deeper part of the lake. But just all around you or the mountains, if you hit Flathead Lake, you're about 45 minutes to an hour drive from Glacier National Park. And oh man, there are so many opportunities in that whole area. I mean, I did archery for the first time in about 10 years, and my cousin said I did great, which is good to hear. But
what's your cousin's name, Willie?
Parker.
And I tell you what, Willie, you just need to start a podcast, and here's how it's going to de-stress you while you're in road construction, and how you're going to de-stress other people in road construction. It's about, the podcast is centered around living in the present moment, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to drive, and you're just going to describe what you see, how you feel, just like what you did with us with the Flathead Lake. And I tell you what, I couldn't be more relaxed right now.
Oh, me
what about
either.
you? That was very pleasant.
I don't know how I'm going to finish the next podcast we got to record. I'm just ready to kick back and relax next to a fire. And Willie, play us out. Where are you right now?
I am sitting at home with just the radio next to me and my computer, and I think the cat might be downstairs.
Well, why don't you take a gander out the window and describe what you see? And this is all the listeners listening, just take this moment, just look around and live in the present moment. What do you see, Willie?
Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong side of the blinds. There we go. Yep, there are the maple trees and the tulip poplars are getting their summer bloom going in. There are the Cascade Mountains way off in the distance. There's a guy that almost ran a stop sign, but he fortunately stopped in time. There's some people out walking. Don't have a dog or anything, but I'm sure it's a nice enough day that any dog or any cat would love to be outside. And it's a beautiful sunny day, about 85 degrees. Forecast calls for more of that. And there's an elementary school with the U.S. flag and the Washington state flag and a baseball field. And then you have the driveway. You have my old Honda Civic and the garage that's full of router tables and power tools that haven't been used in a long time.
I love it. Willie. That was
poetic.
I think we may have found a new segment on this podcast.
I think so. Willie, free Willie.
Yeah. Free your mind and listen to Willie.
Willie talks.
Yeah.
And we'll find it. We'll find it. Yeah. Well, Willie, we're gonna save your number here. We might have to give you a call back and have this be a little recurring segment here on the Bellied Up podcast.
Very nice. Yeah. I am all blissed out. That trip last week was just what I needed. It's gotten rid of all the anxiety and stress that I had when I left.
That's awesome.
So I'm really turning over a new leaf, I think.
I love it.
You're turning over our leaves, and I don't mean that as a weird innuendo, Willie. Thank you for servicing us here on the Bellied Up podcast. And Willie, you have yourself a good day, okay? And I want to let you know that Honda minivan still thinks about you.
I still see it every day. I sold it to my mechanic, and they're going to fix it up and use it as a loaner.
Okay, smart.
Service to others. I love it, Willie. Well, you have yourself a good one, my guy.
And watch out for construction workers on the road.
Yeah. Keep your eyes on the lines, my guy. We'll see you next time.
Thanks. Watch for does and deer.
Yes. You too, Willie. You too.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Bellied Up podcast. I felt somewhat we turned into an NPR episode. How about you?
We did. We really did.
Honestly, I feel really good. Willie's got it right.
He does. It's just noticing the things, because before you know it, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Be like Willie, folks. Free your mind, free your Willie. And don't forget to tip your bartender.
See you in the next one, guys.